This is 99% Craps.
Hard 10, hard 10. Here's the number.
I'll take the full odds on the 10, 200 on the hard way. The limit on all the numbers, 250 on the 11. Thank you very much.
Say, you played this game before.
Just once.
Welcome to the Red Eye Gamblers podcast. High above the second largest city, west of the Mississippi. Two chronic craps players, talking craps, playing craps, thinking craps. This is 99% Craps.
Coming up on our 21st episode of 99% Craps, we're on our way back to the craps tables in Lake Charles, Louisiana. We give a recap of our January Vegas trip, then discuss Saturday session play and session bankrolls. But first, we start with our Lake Charles casino trip agenda. Wednesday, February 25th, 2020, episode 21. The Red Eye Gamblers present 99% Craps. All right. Well, I guess now's a good time of any to welcome everybody back.
Welcome back. It has been a while since we've talked to everybody.
It has been. It has been. So, I guess right back to it. Congratulations for kicking cancer's ass.
Thank you. It was a long journey, but it is over, and now I'm on to bigger and better things.
There you go. So, glad that's over with. Very excited about that. And so here we are, back to normal, going on our normal trip to Lake Charles.
Well, no, this isn't really normal because we're getting to stay Friday and Saturday.
Well, that's true. Actually, it's not true. It's Friday night, not Saturday.
Oh,
the next time we stay is Friday and Saturday.
Oh.
So it's only Friday night.
Oh, so we have to head home tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh.
So you probably packed too much, didn't you?
Well, I didn't pack that much.
Well, for 2 days versus 1 day.
Yeah, no, I thought we were coming back Sunday.
No, that's next week. So yeah, no, Gold Nugget got me another Friday night. So here we are going on a Friday night. And then, no, the next trip will be, to Isle of Capri in 2 weeks. And they've given us, I've got a Friday and a Saturday night over there.
Oh, well then I completely mixed up the weekends. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, yeah, we got a comedy show tonight. Also, free tickets for whatever comedy's in town. And then, I actually got free tickets. So, we're staying at the Isle of Capri in 2 weeks. They're actually going to have, the Golden Nugget has an act that night, or on Saturday night. And so I picked up free tickets for that. It's going to be 311.
Oh, nice.
I know. That's
worked out really well.
That's a $50 ticket.
That's very gratuitous.
Well, and it's going to be like with 3,000 people, so it'll be a real small venue.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of an intimate venue.
Yeah, no, well, and they're playing in Houston like the next night, so yeah, no, I was surprised. So they're going to be at the casino. So yeah, so that'll be our next trip. So, but anyway, so we're back on it, and I guess the other thing to put out there is since we had a little time off, I was able to get Facebook and Instagram and Twitter back up and running. Well, I say back up and running. It was never running, so there's no backup to it. It's
brand spanking new.
We're paying attention to it. So we're going to try to do a little more social media activity. We can do a little more. I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take a few pictures on our trip, during our trip, and post them straight to the media, and we'll just see how that works out. So.
Well, you're going to handle all the social media.
I was going to say, I don't think you got an issue with this.
I have people for that.
Yes.
You.
You know, we don't necessarily need to talk about the trip right now.
Well, I was just going to ask, you know, what are your plans? Because I thought we were staying through Sunday.
Oh, fair.
So what casinos do you think we are? You know, I mean, I know there's not a whole bunch, but which ones are we going to go to?
Oh, I was just going to go to the 3. I was just going to go, so we're staying at Golden Nugget, and then there's the Bears, and then depending on what was going on, possibly. Oh, well, no, I have to go to Isle Creek because I got $75 a promo chip.
Right. Well, because I thought you had mentioned Coshada a couple days ago.
I had just mentioned Coshada for possibly tonight because everything's going to be high limit. Everything's going to be $15 in full or $25 in empty.
Right.
And so if we wanted to find a smaller game, then Coshada would be the choice. And since we're spending the night, going 20 minutes to Coshada isn't that big of a deal.
Well, see, and that's why I suggested it on Saturday afternoon, because I thought we were staying through Sunday. So,
well,
okay.
Now the time has shifted. So, yeah, no, we just have the one night. Yeah, Golden Nugget still won't give me Saturday night. I can't get Saturday night. So,
well, when you told me about it, I just assumed I should have asked, but not that it matters.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did bring 2 apples and a whole thing of strawberries because I thought I was going to be gone for a couple of days. But
well,
it'll travel back, I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Travels there pretty well. So.
No, but very excited. This is going to be our first trip to Lake Charles this year.
Yeah, so we should get in, we left after work on Friday, and, we should try to get in before 7, and then settle in. I think the comedy show starts around 8:30, and then, we can take a look at the tables later, but, most likely we probably won't play tonight.
Right, just hang out and enjoy the...
And then, I was planning on having 2-3 sessions tomorrow. Probably just 2 sessions. But hey, to be honest, probably 1. Well, I hope 1, because if it's 1, then I won.
Right.
Because that's the way I'm thinking about it. Because we're coming back in 2 weeks. I really don't need to play a lot, but I do want to play. So I'm thinking I'll just have a couple sessions in the morning, and then that's that. If I'm feeling lucky and something's clicking, then we'll stay. But don't need to. I like this little getaway, for Friday night.
Right.
It's my version of a lake house. We did go to Vegas for in January to celebrate my birthday and his cancer freeness. We walked the entire thing.
We did kind of it had been a while since we had been, so we really wanted to go, and we know the central areas of the Strip, but we haven't been to the other ends of the Strip in quite some time, so we thought that would be fun to investigate. And what did we do, 60-70 miles?
Yeah, we did
walking.
we did about 10 miles a day. On average. Other days were higher, but we had our headquarters were at the Cromwell. We were able to get 5 comp nights, and that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, he says that
we checked out Wednesday.
Headquarters was Cromwell's, but we also had 2 other places that we stayed at.
I was going to talk about that later after I talked about our first place.
Oh.
But yeah, so we stayed there for 5 nights, and it was home base. So, but we had other places to stay as well. But it was fun. I mean, we liked the Cromwell. Everybody talks about the 100 times odds, but whatever. We're not using those odds, so it doesn't matter.
I'll say that actually, I think my favorite thing about the Cromwell is the location.
Yes.
And it's so easy to get in and out of that hotel because it's so small.
Yeah, that's the size of the size of the whole thing is what I like the most, and the look. I think the
we
look
dig
is
the
awesome.
look. Yeah.
I like the black and red and the dim lights and the fabric shades. Cromwell was fun. So just to go back to scouting that place out a bit. It's right. We like it because the crap table is the closest to the front door. I mean, it's the closest table to a front door, and then you can you just come in and leave. It's awesome as far as.
And what are we talking? Less than 30 feet?
No, 100 feet.
I think so.
Maybe 30 yards, which would be 100 feet. Yeah. No, you got to go in and then down the stairs and then past the craps machine, the bubble craps machine, and then in.
Push the button!
No, I do like the Cromwell though. It's for headquarters. It worked out really well. Minutes from our room. I say minutes from our room to the floor, but they did give us the room on the very far end.
That's true. Yeah. No. So the other thing we really like about the not only the access to the craps tables, but then it's also access to your room from the craps tables. You know, anytime you stay at another casino, you know, access to the hotel room or to your hotel is like on the other side of the casino usually, or you know, you got to walk
because they want you to walk
all
through the
way
retail
in the back
yeah.
or wherever, and so yeah, it's really really convenient to get to the elevator to get to your get to the floors, and then they only have 4 floors of hotel rooms. So that's the other thing. You don't have to go to the 39th floor or
Right.
25th floor and have to wait for everybody else getting on and off. They only got 4 floors. So it's really easy to get in and out. And their customer service is great when you're checking in. And, they've got a new sports bar now, or a new sports book. They've renovated their high-end bar. I forget the name of it. But that's got all the high-end tequilas and scotches and everything.
And rums.
And then it's in view of the sports book. So, to be honest, if you wanted to really experience a sports book the right way, go hang out at that bar. They've got a few seats up against kind of a railing,
And we
you
did
can look at all those. Look at all the TVs.
we did place some bets with them, and they did give us drink tickets.
That's true. We did get drink tickets. So well, it's Caesar's property. So, but each location does
It's a
things
little
differently.
different, yeah.
But yeah, we did get drink tickets,
Which
for
we
our
actually
sports
never
bets.
used.
Now that you say that, no, we didn't. So, but yeah, so they had 4 tables total. I want to say they were all 12-foot tables. They were all nice, relatively new, good felt. 3 were in one area and 1 was all by itself. Or no, actually there were 5. There were 2. They were back to back. So there were 2 by themselves, and then 3 on the other end of the casino, closest to the front doors. And then they had the all-tall small bonus bet, and I think they were $10 for the most part. I think they went to $15 a couple of days as well. Yeah, we did okay. I mean, I like playing there, but we were just
we were
playing everywhere.
We do like playing there because the tables, they're very relaxed dealers.
Yeah.
They don't like,
The waitresses come by regularly.
Yeah.
And they're really nice. I like their get up.
Yeah, no, Cromwell is
We've had a good time with it.
even though it's boutique hotel, we've enjoyed it just because we enjoy Caesars. We enjoy the larger casinos also, but
Well, and then it's okay. So then next, why we like it is location. You go out, the back door, and you can cross the street, and you're right into Bally's. You go out the front door, you take a right, and you're like 150 feet from the Flamingo, and then you're right in there. Or if you wanted to go up and over, there's the escalator that will take you up and over to Caesars. It's because you're literally across the street from Caesars as well. So you've got all those options, and then obviously Bellagio is catty corner across from Caesars.
no, it's definitely in the heart of all of what I call the middle of the strip.
As opposed to like staying at Caesars, then you're all the way in the back of the Caesars property, and it takes you forever just to get out of it. Same thing with Bellagio. The rooms are all the way in the back. You got to go all the way out the front. Cromwell's perfect. So then we also, when we set up our trip, the reason we set it up was because I was able to get two free nights at the Cosmopolitan, which for us, for everything that I said about it being a big hotel and going to the 20th floor and all that kind of stuff, well, you throw that out the window when you're talking about the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, we do like that place.
We like that place. The other thing is we were able to get a room with a balcony, so that was pretty damn cool. So, but 2 free nights at the Cosmopolitan, and then we're able to use that as a satellite location for our adventures. So We could take a load off, have a couple of cocktails, sit on the balcony, and kind of relax and enjoy ourselves versus trying to work, which is kind of what we always have done in the past, is try to play more than have fun.
Yeah,
So this time we had more fun.
The balcony was a nice relaxing area for us. It had a great view, and the weather was great while we were out there.
Yeah, no, actually, while the sun was out, it was nice. It was cold at night, but
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. It's winter in the desert. But yeah, so Cosmo was great, and then so we were able to use that side of town, and we like Cosmo's tables too. Now the Cosmo, they have 5, 6 tables, I think.
5 or 6. I was going to say 6.
I think 6
I was going to say 6 also.
And they were at $15 for a while. I want to say I might have even seen them at $10 one day. But for the most part, they were a $15 and $25 place. Their tables were packed every single time we were there.
Yeah.
They didn't have them all working, though. They only had maybe 4 working.
Well, and one of the things we don't like about Cosmo is that their tables are kind of in the middle of the place, and there's a lot of traffic around there.
Yeah, it is.
And that is
the majority of
distracting.
their tables are all in major traffic thoroughfares. So you get groups of people just stopping in a cluster, right up against the shooter, or all the superstitions that you don't want them to do. That you can have it with random people because they're just coming by.
Well, and there's a lot of beautiful people walking by too, which can be a distraction.
Well, that's the other reason we like going to Cosmo. The beautiful people go to Cosmo. It is such a great place to watch, just people watch. People coming through, walking from one end to the other. Anyway, but yeah, no, Cosmo's got a bunch of fun things happening. So it's a cool place to go. It's a young place. And I mean, it's not cheap either. I mean, it's not a red chip place. So we knew that. I mean, that's the other thing. We like going over there because it is a high end. We bring our $15 cigars and smoke them in the bar while we have a $15 glass of bourbon
or rum.
But we like the atmosphere, and then that's kind of what you're paying for. Because we had those 2 locations, it allowed us this time to go and visit all the other casinos on the Strip. So we made it all the way from the Wynn and Encore, Venetian and Palazzo, all the way to the other end to Mandalay Bay and
Tropicana and Excalibur
and Luxor. New York, and MGM. Yeah, we finally made it in. Well, finally. I don't like the MGM because the craps tables are so far in the back. But because we were having fun and we were already at the Tropicana, the tables weren't too far away from where we were. So we did go in. Actually, I want to say when we played there, we actually did fairly well. So, but it's just if you're staying somewhere else, to go to those
it's
tables.
so hard to get to those, yeah.
I mean, if you're staying at the MGM, of course you're going to play, but then going from casino to casino is just such a walk. I mean, it's like at least a 3/4 of a mile, from the front desk to get out to the
Right.
Strip. And then to get to another casino, you got to walk over to New York, because what's the other way? Nothing until you get to Planet Hollywood. So it's a haul. So anyway, so we're not a big fan of MGM, but we were on that side of town, so we thought we'd stop by. So we did that for every place. So I mean, we made it to Mandalay Bay and even to Luxor and Excalibur. Now the thing about those places, we went. I won't say it was early. It was before noon. I think it was like maybe around 11 o'clock. We were walking around. All those places had one table.
Yeah, that was the problem because they were all packed, basically.
They had just one table working.
Well, that's kind of what we learned is, during the day, all the casinos are just basically going to have one table going. At night, it's when they have, 3 or 4 open.
Right. Yeah, well, and I think, for our strategy of playing, Vegas, it has different rules, obviously. Different location, different rules. We're used to playing in Lake Charles all the time with those conditions, and we get into this habit, and then when you go see another craps table, you just assume that same situation, but no, I think actually gambling in Vegas is better, probably late morning and then all afternoon, like before dinner. But then even between 7 and 9, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, because I think that's when the couples go do dinner or they go see the shows or whatever,
Actually, I think that was it. It was when the shows start. That's when things die down. Yeah,
you're right.
But anyway, so we walked around everywhere.
Chris Tucker.
And found more places to play, but I still like the places we know. I mean, I would like to play. I don't know. We went to the Wynn and we went to the Encore, and they're really, really nice, but the setup wasn't good. They were in major thoroughfares.
Right.
I think one of them had a TV maybe nearby, but not great.
Yeah, that was not too many of them had TVs in the area.
That's one of our things that we really like, is to be able to watch TV from where you're playing. One of the better setups I still like is the D,
Right.
because that's got entertainment as well as TVs.
Right. If you need anything else to distract you from your money.
And $10 tables. And good wait service. But as if you go on the Strip, I mean, Cromwell's got TVs, but not at every table.
Right.
You got to get on the back side to get them. But and then Cosmo doesn't have any TVs whatsoever. Yeah, actually, that was the one thing I did notice. Vegas doesn't have a lot of TVs around the craps tables. Bellagio doesn't. They're their own little. Once you're in the casino, you're your own thing. You don't.
If
need
you want to
TV.
watch sports, you go to their
Yeah. Yeah, you're not. But Planet Hollywood's got TVs. Kind of nearby. Well, I think they added them. But I don't know. I mean, I prefer them at the table. I mean, it's a distraction, to be honest.
Right.
Why wouldn't the casino want them? You're not paying attention to the table? That's better for them. But yeah, that's something we like to see. And I want to say, there weren't too many places that had TVs in Vegas.
Yeah, not on the Strip, and not
Lake
Charles. Lake
well,
Charles. There's all kinds of TVs in Lake Charles.
Well, that's yes and no.
Actually, LaBerge
does not have TVs.
Yeah, they don't do TVs.
No. And Coshada. Coshada doesn't have
It's
TVs
been,
either.
it's been so long since I've been to Coshada. I remember it, of course.
They only have a TV at that center bar.
At that bar, yeah. But depending on where you were at the craps table, you could probably see it.
Yeah.
From 200 feet away.
Right. I don't know. Your depth perception is still not good.
Yeah, it is poor.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you just we can go down the list real quick. I mean, Encore and the Wynn are pretty much the same tables. You know what it was? We felt like the tables were tall.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. The rails were higher.
Yeah, we thought that they were a little more cocktail table height than the normal feel. And it could just be our perception of what we saw, but yeah, just something didn't seem right, where they seemed like they might be a little bit taller than what we're used to. So
I think for you it wouldn't have been as big of a problem. I don't think I could have thrown comfortably at that table.
Yeah. So but yeah, so both those places, we didn't really stop and see a good environment for us to play. Same thing with Venetian and Plaza. They're both set up the same way, and the funny thing is, both of the pairs that we just talked about, you can tell that the craps equipment came from the same company, because both casinos are outfitted with the same exact equipment. So the craps tables were the exact same craps tables at the Wynn and at the Encore.
Right.
And then when you went to the Venetian and the Palazzo, same thing there too. Of course, right?
Two for one deals.
But I don't know that you can notice that when you go from Caesar's property to Caesar's property. I think then it's a little different. But anyway, but yeah, we didn't really get a good vibe and stay in those places. We did watch one of the playoff games at Emeril's over at the Venetian, I think, and that was good. Good food, good TVs. It was a good environment for the game.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. Last couple times we've been to the Mirage and TI, Treasure Island. Didn't really like where their craps tables were. I want to say Mirage was back by where the show gets in and out. And then the Treasure Island, they've got like a couple of like 2 or 4 tables like in the back in a corner with low ceiling height, and it's stuffy, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the open area that usually crap tables are found in.
Yeah, it just doesn't have a good vibe. So we don't go there anymore. So we didn't even worry about crossing the street. So we just stayed on the Venetian side, and then made it to Casino Royale. That's where we walked in and saw all the old people at the table and said, "There's no way in hell we're going to play here." And it was a $5 table, and it was packed, so it wasn't we couldn't get on anyway, so it didn't matter. And then from there was the Margaritaville, but then they don't have a casino anymore.
Well, I see the bright lights of Golden Nugget and La Berge. We're on the big bridge.
Yeah.
It's just 210.
With the full moon out.
Full moon out.
And actually we'll be able to get there before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
A relatively stress-free drive.
Yeah.
Even though it was the peak of traffic when we left. Well, I guess technically we were slightly
Friday rush hour.
A Friday rush hour, yes.
But I guess as far as gambling on this trip, and that was kind of where that's where I started, but I never finished. 2020 is starting a new year, so basically kind of starting with a new bankroll, and so I'm gonna be low rolling it to kind of build up the bankroll. So a lot of minimum betting going on and some small ball play. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk more about that on the way home, but I think that's the way I'm starting this year and knowing that I'm going to be back in 2 weeks. I don't need to put that much risk out there. Go in there with my 20% goal of winning. I want to win 20% of my bankroll, or my session bankroll. So if I do that, then I'm out. And then at the same time, only going to do $50 stop loss, or 50%. So when my bankroll's 50%, I definitely stop. I don't continue. Discipline is what needs to happen in the future of my game.
In both of our games.
Yeah. So I will say the end of 2019 wasn't kind. And
well, we went out there and started gambling.
I got myself to blame. And I don't know, maybe that's what it was, of you're taking these last stabs of, all right, this is going to be my last trip, and so I'm going to throw this out there. I think that's a lot of what that was for me, was taking a couple of last stabs versus still playing smart and playing your game. Why are you trying to gamble when you've got rules?
Well, that's the thing, is we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how people gamble, and most people don't
know what the hell they're doing.
They don't have any rules, they throw money in a machine or throw money at a table and they just gamble.
And they gamble until it's gone.
And that's one reason why the beginning of the year started out so well for us, because we followed our rules.
We were following our rules.
And then toward the end of it,
let's play. Well, we started playing looser and more aggressive, and didn't follow our rules.
And not following our rules, yeah.
I mean, we are preaching to you guys about how to play, and then we're not even doing it on
But
ourselves.
sometimes we need to listen to ourselves. Well, and that's
it just
the addiction of gambling. That's how you get
It's-
caught up so quickly.
it is something, isn't it?
Well, it's almost like weight. It's so hard to lose weight. It's so hard to make money, but it's so easy to gain weight, and it's so easy to lose money.
Right? Yeah.
You have to put the work in if you want to make money. You have to put the work in if you want to lose weight.
I think so. Or just have a good time and don't worry about it.
No, my goal is not to have a good time. My goal is to make money.
No, I think that's where we're at with now that we're back in Lake Charles. We're back to, all right, we can put our head down and work for a little bit.
Well, the funny thing is when I make money, I tend to have a good time.
Yeah, that's true. I have a much better time when I'm making money.
Exactly.
This is another one of these scenarios. It's Friday night at the casino. Where is a parking spot?
Yeah, but did we get here early enough that...
No.
Oh, that guy was backing out.
That doesn't help me now. Well, I guess we can bid y'all adios for this portion. And we'll talk to you when we are on our way back.
Wish us luck. Cheers.
Alright, and we're on our way back home from a Friday night and Saturday afternoon in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
We definitely tore the town up.
I don't know about touring the town up, but we tore up every casino other than L'Auberge.
Yeah, we didn't step foot into the L'Auberge.
No, turns out news article. Good thing we have phones with the internet on them, because we never would have read about this story. We never would have gotten a heads up from one of our friends that the norovirus had an outbreak at L'Auberge Casino last night, or no, Thursday, and over 200 people were sick. So I think we wisely opted out of going to L'Auberge.
Yeah, I just hope none of them came over to Golden Nugget.
Yeah. So we were at the Golden Nugget, and then Isla Capri, and then actually made it to Coshada today too.
Yeah, we actually drove all the way out there, and it was an approximately 35-minute drive.
Yeah, from the Golden Nugget, L'Auberge, or no, actually it was from the Golden Nugget. We left the Golden Nugget. No, we left the Golden Nugget to go to Isla Capri, and then we went to Isla Capri.
Correct. It was Isla Capri to Coshada, correct.
Yeah, so it's the distance, so it's the time from Isla Capri to Coshada was about 35 minutes.
Correct.
So.
But an easy drive, straight
Yeah, it was
down there, you
nice
know.
afternoon drive. So yeah, we gambled we gambled last night. Well, sort of. We didn't throw craps. We didn't play craps. We played a little bit of video poker, and then I sat down at a bubble craps machine.
Push the button!
To bend the rules, and again we broke the machine. I say we broke the machine by I kept hopping sevens and then they never showed. I mean, never ever showed.
Yeah, there were some fantastically long rolls.
The roll was over 25 rolls, and I started off hopping sevens with $1 and then $2 and then $3 and then $5 as the progression of the game kept going, and was betting some other things too, but for the most part I was focused on hopping on the sevens. And after it got past like the 12th roll, the 13th roll, I started doing $5 hops, $5 each. That was going to pay 75, and then then it kept going, and now we're in the 20s. And I decided to do $10, a $30 hop in sevens. And it still wasn't hitting. And then I was running out of money because I think I was 300 in now.
Right. And you don't want to keep feeding the crack machine. You want to go play real craps.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm proving my point that the machine knows exactly what you're doing. And so therefore it's not random. It's not like a real game at all. It's a friggin' computer.
And then when you stop playing and you ran out of money and you stopped playing, then it's 7 down.
Well, it was the second roll after I was out. The not the first roll, but the second roll was a 7. Yeah, so I think they ended up with like 28 rolls.
Yeah, there's some leprechaun or elf inside that machine that just laughs at you and laughs at you.
That was heartbreaking. That's like, that's tough. I hate that. But we've done that before. I didn't do it to this extreme because I was, like I said, I was poking the bear and trying to bend the rules. And sure enough, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. You know, it was. I had bets all the way out there, and I was missing the 5, and it would roll a 5. I mean, it was just it. I had every number covered except for one number, and that would be the number that would hit. And there were other people playing different things too, but I mean, yeah, it was just heartbreaking. I don't think I could play bubble craps again. I mean, maybe to teach people if I really need to, but
well, and when we were in Vegas, we saw the single.
Yeah, that was we need to put a picture of that up. I forgot about that. We at the D upstairs, they've got the solo craps, bubble craps machines.
Push the button!
Which is just basically like a smaller version of the big bubble craps.
It's your personal version. Yeah, the dice are bigger than regular dice, but smaller than the other dice. It looks like a little bird cage on the machine, and not a little one, actually a big bird cage. But it's kind of weird because then there's no interaction with anybody. You know, half of the thrill of playing craps is the crowd.
Yeah, I think like roulette and craps, that's the big thing is, you know, people winning.
Any table game, you get a little bit of camaraderie with the people you're with, but when you're focused on a computer screen and you're not interacting with the dealers,
might as well be at home.
You know, there's nobody's saying anything, and then that's the other thing, you don't know what the other person bet.
Bubble craps I have yet to really figure out. I haven't played.
There's no
bubbles
figuring
craps
it
in a while.
out. It's like a slot machine. I don't think there's a reason to play it anymore. I mean, realistically, it seems like if you're nervous and you don't want to be in front of people.
It's a great way to learn. It really is. I wish actually the craps, bubble craps machine actually, you had to play it a certain amount of hours before you got to play with us, you know, the real people. You know, it should almost be like driver's ed.
Sure, I could see bubble crap. You'd have to pass a certain level on bubble craps in order to play at the real game.
This is where you get all your questions answered.
The basics.
This is where you can try stuff. This is where you can see what is what. If you don't understand, please push
this. Do it in 20 seconds.
Push this button. It'll explain every bet to you. Instead of coming up to the table and then starting that while I have $200 up there.
Yeah. That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, instead of driver's ed, we'll call it craps ed.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what we did last night?
Yeah, so, we got into the Golden Nugget, checked in, and then was able to see a comedy show. Actually, Bill Engvall was at the place, and so we had free tickets for that, so we went and saw that. And then because there was a show that night, the casino was friggin' packed. And I mean, being a Friday night, it's the only thing to do. It's where
weather was good.
Yeah, so no, it was friggin' packed. So they had all 6 of their tables going at the Golden Nugget. They actually had a $10 table on a Friday night.
Yeah, which actually I was very surprised at.
And then actually they also had their crapless table was $10, and then the rest of the tables were $15 at one point, and then slowly they started rolling over into $25 tables as the night progressed. but they were all full, so we didn't bother jumping in, and instead hung out at the bar playing video poker, just drinking free beers. Well, drinking beers for video poker. It wasn't free.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, just kind of piddled around last night and enjoyed the ambiance of being at a casino on a Friday night. But then realistically knew we were going to play in the morning. So basically got up this morning and went down and was playing craps before 9 a.m. Table wasn't too bad. There was just one table going, and there was only three other people, one on one end and two on the other. So I was able to get into my spot at stick left 1, SL1, and unfortunately rolled a lot.
Well, and I proceeded to watch a guy at the table probably lose $5,000 playing the don't.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
But he just kept doing it. But it was a very choppy table.
Yeah, no.
You know,
the speed of the table was fast, and nobody was rolling anything of length.
Yeah.
So
the pass line players and the don't pass line players,
Give yourself to the dark side.
neither were doing very well.
yeah, it just was really, really choppy. Everything was between like 4 and 8 rolls.
8 being definitely on the high side.
Yeah, and you know, less than 50% they'd hit the first point. To be honest, the only time they'd hit the first point was when the don't player was rolling.
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
Oh, he was probably the best roller at the table.
Oh, it's your classic don't player rolling story. He basically runs out of all his money, and he's playing $100 to $500 a hand. You know, he's going up and down all over the place. He's throwing $100 and $200 don't pass bets, and then throwing, you know, $200 don't pass bets.
But he almost hit every single first
Excuse me,
point.
don't come bets.
He almost hit every single first point that he rolled. Well, he wasn't rolling for it, but he hit it anyway.
But then he'd lay heavy odds, like, you know, 400, 600, you know, odds on his $100 don't.
I just can't help. I watch a don't player roll and shoot them, and not even shoot themselves in the foot. All I can see is them having their hands spread apart on a chopping table, and somebody taking a knife and just keep cutting off a finger after each point. The guy hit 3 or 4 points at one point.
Yeah, no, he would shoot for himself and he'd play the don't, and dude, he hit like 5 points. It was crazy. And then he'd be doubling up. He wasn't chasing. That was the one thing we did notice. I mean, he wasn't really going, you know, if he lost one in a row, he just still bet 100.
Yeah, no, he played.
But he played consistently bad.
Right.
But then when he rolled, he would keep hitting his points. And then he finally stopped playing don't come because he kept picking himself off. And then 2 times he had to pass the roll. At least 2. And then had made somebody else finish shooting. And he had basically had all his money up on odds on his bets, which was, you know, $800 or more dollars. And yeah, he'd pass the dice, and then 3 more rolls later, they'd throw a 7 and he'd end up winning.
Yeah. Well, he was actually doing better on other people than when he was rolling.
Well, yeah, because he was the only one hitting points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I knew that, so I was actually doing okay when he was rolling. I was doing bad when I was rolling. And then everybody was rolling short rolls, so I ended up rolling a lot. I think I rolled like at least 10 times.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, if I'm putting a $25 bet and a $25 bonus bet, and then, you know, a $36 6 and 8, or, you know, $18 6 and 8, you know, you lose that 10 times. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a horrible day, other than I had one good roll. and at the Golden Nugget. And so the one good roll was, I think I had 21 or 23 rolls, and I hit 4 points. And I made some money, and I hit the small ATS, the bonus. So, and I had $10 on that, so that was $350. So, I think we talked before about trying to that I don't do well at throwing at Golden Nuggets tables. I think I do better at the longer tables at L'Auberge and Isle of Capri and Kajada for that matter.
Yeah, I think I roll better at Golden Nugget, and I agree with you. I think you roll better at the bigger tables.
Yeah, I think that's just something I've got to get over. Is either I go all the way towards the back of the table. Or,
well, I mean, size does matter.
I was. That's length.
Yeah, length does matter.
But well, and I was shooting from straight out at Golden Nugget, and I thought I was doing fairly well. Maybe that's. I need more distance in my throw. But anyway, so that was this morning's session. So I had one good roll, but basically stayed there too long and didn't do well, and left there to go over to Isle of Capri. Wanted to go see what was going on over there, and they had one table working before noon, and it was a $10 table. And it had a good crowd around it already, so it was nothing we could bust into right away. So that's what
that was when you decided to go play the bubble craps.
Push the button!
Yeah. Well, we talked to one of the dealers. I said they were going to open up another table at 2 o'clock, and so it was still before noon. I think it was like 11:30.
It was.
So we were like, okay, well, we'll come back. And so we started walking around, and then that's when we went downstairs and said, oh, look, bubble craps.
Push the button!
There was a full craps table at the bubble craps. So they had 8 people, 8 with us. And the cool thing at the beginning was, oh, it's only $1 minimum. So
yeah.
I was having fun. I was making $1 pass line bets, and then doing $2 odds, and just sitting there. And I thought I was all cool and all. That's funny. That's exactly how that started.
Oh, well, and I thought you were going to go try the Hoppin' Sevens with the corn bet combination on the come out roll that you and I have been talking about and kind of working on. I thought that was the initial reason you went down there to go do that.
No, I was just jumping on there. Well, no, that is what I did, but I didn't really.
Yeah, you were bad.
That was just, I was poking the bear. I was doing everything I shouldn't have done. I was basically making hot bets all day. Well, all day. I was down there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing. If I would hit my little rhythm of what I was doing, I'd make, $95, $100. And I initially only put $100 in there. And so I'd get back to even, with 1, 2, wins. But then if you don't do that anymore, then you don't have those wins, and then you're putting more $100 bills into the machine. Yeah. Bad discipline today. Bad discipline today. So anyway, so that was bubble craps.
Push the button!
At Isle of Capri downstairs. $1 minimum. And so from there we decided to go to Kashada because we had time and hadn't been there
in forever.
Several years. So we had graduated from the $5 table, but now we thought, well, might as well go check it out. So sure enough, we got over there and they had 3 tables out of 5 working, and those tables are huge. They're 16 footers.
Yeah, those are some of the boats.
They're big. So I mean, you're getting like 8 people around each end. So we were able to get in at the $5 table. They had 1 $5 table and 2 $10 tables. So, got in at the $5 table, and what do? I'm betting, $18 6 1/8.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing was I was able to regress down to, 17 or 16 inside.
Yeah, and I think that's the play. I think you start high,
Well, you
take a
regress
hit or
and then
two.
It's how you play with house money.
Yeah.
So that was the fun part. And so yeah, that's what I was kind of doing. I was able to play, small ball regression because you could go down to a $6, 6 and 8.
And well, you did well there too, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I made a turn once I left Golden Nugget. I only lost at Golden Nugget, and then I lost at Video Poker, and then I lost at Bubble Craps. I didn't lose at Craps.
Well, then I have one piece of advice: stop playing the other games.
Well, yeah, no, that was I only lost one session at Craps, so I won the other two. So, that's kind of where I'm at again. But I lost my budget for my Video Poker, and I lost my budget for my Bubble Craps. And so I am not going to replenish my Bubble Craps. There's no more Bubble Craps for me. But Video Poker, I need to start practicing a little more if I really want to play with that a little bit.
Well, and we have yet to talk about one of the most miraculous things I've ever seen at a craps table in the world. Actually, two things I saw today that were don't happen very often. First one was, I want to say it's only the second time I've ever seen both dice bounce on the table and both go over the wall in the same roll. I think that's only the second time I've seen that. You see the one die go off all the time, or one die go off and the other one in the rail.
Yeah, dice off the table.
That happens, but to see both dice go off the table and hit the floor,
No, that doesn't happen.
doesn't happen very often.
What was funny is these guys, the dice weren't together. Well, it was the guy who was all the way at the other end.
Yeah, and he was throwing on a big monster 16-foot or so. You have to crank it up like an MLB pitcher to get that out over the plate. And they were together, and it hit together, and it bounced right over together.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool because you don't see that often. And then the second thing I saw that was very interesting, or it makes you like a place even better. I'd like to see it happen more, just because. But sometimes you'll see a boxman or a dealer argue with a guest over a $10 bet or something that I had that bet there and you didn't have it there or whatever. Pay the people. They're going to give it back to you if they're gambling. And tonight, guy rolled the dice and it hit. Guy was reaching down for a bet, which he shouldn't have been.
Yeah, wasn't the come out roll, but it was a roll, and guy at the opposite end of the table where the dice were coming, he had his hand. He was placing a come bet or placing a field bet, and yeah, shooter's got the dice, throws the dice and hits the guy in the hand.
And it rolled a 1-6.
Yep,
and
it hit a 7, and everybody at the table was like, "Ah, motherfucker!"
And the dealer right in front of us started picking up bets because that's what dealers do.
Yeah, it was a 7-0.
And the boxman says, "Wait, hold on." He goes and he turns to the guy. He goes, "Did it hit your hand?" And he was like, "Yeah." And the boxman said, "Okay, re-roll."
Yeah.
And you don't hardly ever see
roll,
that.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
I mean,
hell?
I've seen it hit people's hands and hit people's chests, and if it falls back in, it is whatever
Anytime
it rolled.
That's the only time I've ever seen dice hit a 7 on the table, and them saying no roll.
Right? Because
anytime when it's the point, they'll say no roll, but not when it's the 7.
Yeah, no, it was
7. They'll take your money, but this time, oh my goodness! And so so everybody kept their bets. And then he continued to roll for.
He did, and
5-6 more rolls.
The dealer on our side had to replace our bets. The other dealer hadn't started picking them up yet, because it happened on their side. And the boxman said something, and I said, "Well, very generous of you." And the guy did roll for a few more, but then I noticed that yourself and another guy, actually I think he was the shooter. Both of y'all on the next player bet the ATS for him, and together the money that y'all put up there netted them the dealers $140
right
on the ATS. And so some good karma started from the boxman basically negating a 7
A
roll.
sure loser.
Yeah, a loser. And and instead you still had your $100 and some odd up that generated you a little bit more money. I think you got maybe one hit, but still, or you actually turned it off, didn't you?
Well, I was smart and turned my bets off.
Yeah, you turned it off. So you say you were able to save your money. So no, it was a very generous move of the dealer, and I'm a big person that believes
it was a customer service move.
that believes you give a little bit and you get a lot more back in return just by good karma.
It's not a good casino move.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I mean,
But
I don't
it's
think
a very good customer service move.
I don't think those types of situations happen that often. And I still think, you should always err in the guest side. What's two or three red chips from the stacks of chips that the dealers have? But when you only have $150 in front of you and they give you 3 or 4 red chips, that's a lot of money. Well, that's a good percentage of your money that you're still probably going to bet.
Oh yeah, no. Your typical bettor is going to bet everything they've got in front of them.
Hats off to the boxman for making a good the only time I've ever seen that decision made.
It was miraculous.
Yeah.
You don't ever see a boxman actually, put everything back.
Well, it was just
I've never seen that.
The table's good karma started at that point.
That's true, and then we did. I did well. But yeah, I only rolled once, but I rolled another. Did I hit the small? Somebody else did.
Somebody else hit it. Yeah, you did not.
Somebody else did, and I was on it, but I didn't hit it, but I was close.
But you had a pretty good. You hit 4 points.
I hit 4 points again.
Yeah.
So,
and actually, not in that many rolls, was it? It wasn't.
No, that was
like
less
maybe
than 20 rolls.
Yeah, I was gonna say a dozen or 15 rolls, but you hit 4 points.
Yeah, I did another 4 point.
You hit
deal.
2 or 3 of those points back to back almost.
Yeah, well, that's been the one thing that's been happening when I roll well is I basically my first point is back to back. My first shot. Yeah, I did back to back 6s. I did back to back 8s. I might have even done back to back 5s. Oh no, I only had two rolls really that were good. So I remember, 6s and 8s at the beginning of my roll and 9s. I would back to back them all. Yeah, it was fun. It made me feel good. Made me definitely think I don't want to play a gold, or I don't want to shoot a gold nugget anymore. So no, I get a good vibe now from Isle. I mean, it's not the greatest looking place.
You've always liked the place.
It's just got a good craps vibe. I mean, it's not a great casino, but the craps table's fun. The dealers are fun. Yeah, the dealers want to be there.
Well, they started there back in '95 when they were young, and they were the hip place to be, and now they're not. But now those guys are in their 50s and they like the laid back feel.
Well, they're in charge of their tables, is what they are. It's like a good bartender is in charge of their bar.
Yeah, there definitely was a big difference between when the older gentleman was dealing for you and that younger lady was dealing for you. Not that she didn't do a good job, but he definitely was much quicker with your requests.
Well, the seasoned dealers can. It's like they've got. It's like rock stars just have this aura about them. Good dealers, when they're at the table working, you can tell they're doing a good job. You can feel better. You can feel their confidence at the table.
Well, and it's also the young lady. Maybe let's just say, I'm throwing out a number that she has 1,000 hours of experience at the craps table. That guy has probably got 15,000, 20,000 hours at the table.
Decades.
So
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I like the seasoned guys.
Yeah.
But some of the seasoned guys aren't great either, though. They're trained.
Usually they're good at the chip side of it, but usually some of the seasoned guys aren't very personable anymore.
Yeah. They could just be tired.
Well, I mean, if you were bent over a table for 25 years.
No, I mean, but it's the same shit every day.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you're bent over the table.
Well, the conversation's the same too. What do you do?
Sure.
Oh, you're in town for what?
Well, you know me. I'm not fond of small talk either. I'm not really that fond of talk, period. But
Good thing you're not a craps dealer.
Well, it's a good thing I don't talk on a podcast every once in a while.
You barely do that.
Un poquito.
So, but yeah, so that was had good experience over at Isle of Capri. So
Yeah. No, shout
kudos
out to the guy. The boxman's name was
Bruh.
and the younger guy too. But shout out to him for really. You know what I mean? What did the casino didn't lose anything? You know what I mean? They lost. You know, they gave out some red chips, but no, it was good job for.
Bruh.
Well, they didn't give out any chips. They just put chips back. They still
Well,
lost.
I mean, they didn't. Yeah, everybody still. He's still sevened out eventually.
Sevened out in 6 more rolls. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it just gave you hope. But what it did is it gave you a good feeling instead of a sour feeling about the staff.
Yeah, and everybody would have hated that guy that stuck his hand in because he had just pretty much gotten
Well,
there.
that's how you empty a table.
Right, that is exactly how you empty a table when somebody's
You
on
do
a good
something
roll.
like that,
and-
and then everybody's pissed off at that other guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and then that's when you have a really bad choppy table. Instead, I go on and hit 4 points. Somebody else hits half the ATS.
Couple people had a couple good rolls too.
Yeah.
Even the Lady Luck had a decent roll. She hit a few things before she passed the dice on. But no, it was a good vibe table.
No, everybody. Well, that was the other thing. I heard the guy next to me going, "I really wanted to roll, but it's been a long time."
Right. And that's the wrong thing to say at a
I
craps
know.
table,
It's
right?
like, come on, man. That means the table's hot. So, but yeah, no. So we ended up with a good trip. And well, basically just evened out. But felt like I learned a few things, and
Earned some more comp time.
got back down to being a low roller, being a red chip player. Playing at a $5 table. Only buying in for $300-400. Wasn't uncomfortable. And then when I won $200, it wasn't hard for me to walk away. But yeah, so it was. I think it was successful. A good Friday night, Saturday night, and we'll be back at it in a couple of weeks.
This is true.
So,
Yeah, it was good to be back at Coushatta. I've always said that's kind of not the Burge was the very first place I ever played, but Coushatta is where we started really learning the game.
It's our first place we tried to be regulars.
Yeah, and so Coushatta is, and that place has always felt comfortable. I mean, it's older crowd and an older facility, but it's still a cool place to go. I still like it.
I guess as far as strategy goes today, I was thinking of ways to make money, and the bonus was one of those ways. And was thinking about, since it's a $10 table, playing a $10 pass line bet, and then a $10 tall or a $5 tall and small for a $10 bonus. Don't play the middle, and then that'll pay $175 if it hits, and then just play the pass line with simple odds and just slow play that, and that was okay.
Oh, and what did we learn about
That was Isle of Capri.
Isle Capri's bonus money?
So yeah, I had $75 worth of bonus chips over at Isle of Capri, and they basically, instead of using them only on even money bets, you can use them anywhere on the table.
Well, first of all, one of the biggest differences between Isle Capri and almost everybody, and I'm talking from Lake Charles to Biloxi to, well, Biloxi I don't remember so much, but Vegas for sure.
Well, there's not a lot of casinos that do it.
Yeah, well, you get paper most of the time.
Right.
But they actually, and then that paper is usually only good for 24 hours. They give chips that if you didn't spend that day, you could bring back.
Yeah, they actually have real promo chips.
Exactly. And then today, the young lady told us, oh, you can put those anywhere, because usually you have to bet it to where it's even money. But apparently they've changed that. And now you put it on.
Well, they didn't change it. It's just that's the way iCapri works.
Well, you got to use it on the ATS, and that $5 hit the ATS.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah, it was funny. Instead of giving me 175, they gave me 170.
I don't think you complained.
No, I did not at all because I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and then you used it for odds. You used it for.
I used it for everything.
Yeah. No, that was awesome.
Yeah. So that was another excellent customer service.
Actually,
move.
another benefit. Yeah. Because it wasn't like that before. Because you've had those chips numerous times.
Well, just I've never tried doing that because I know the rules. I know better than doing that. No, so pass line and bonus was one way, and then then the other was playing 6s and 8s. And basically just pressing those up. Wasn't really regressing them too much. Wasn't playing them heavy. Wasn't playing them high and then going down. It just, everything was we were at a low limit place today, so didn't feel like it. I just felt like playing $10. I played $6 6 and 8s at Coshada, and then I played $10 and $12 bets.
And I think 32 or 34, whatever it is, inside. I think $30 some odd is a reasonable small bet gamble on another roller.
Sure.
And instead of trying to go back down, if you can press it and take a few hits, and then.
Although I'll tell you this, and you could probably help me with the argument, but your argument probably would be more along the lines of 44 inside as opposed to 32 inside.
Well, it depends if you're playing the point and what it is. I'm just saying.
Well, no, but that's something to talk about. If we're playing the pass line only on the first point, then we're never picking up the pass line. And then we always talk about how when 8 becomes the point, and then you're not on 8, then they back-to-back it, and we're missing out on it.
Well, when I was playing inside, I would play basically 44 and say play the point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think the real way, the real step is not just the 3 bets. I think it's actually 4 bets, and you include the point. And I think that's something you need to just think about and get your head wrapped around.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. But my what I was saying was instead of starting with 2 $30 bets, start. Or I did like a couple of times I saw you play 30 on 6 and 8, or maybe it was 18 and 18 and you took it to 30, and then you would get a hit and you would take the quarter and put 10 on either 5 or 9.
Yeah.
And then so now you had 36 initially plus $3, so you had 39 invested. And you took a quarter back, so now you're $14 still down, but now you've got that was $70 worth of bets.
Yeah, that was what I was doing. I was you get paid $35, and then I was taking the quarter and then leaving the $10 and picking up a 5 or 9.
I thought that was a smart move.
Yeah, no, I like when you're just doing the 6 and 8, and then you're able to spread out to the other bets. But it just has to go well. That's the other thing I'm thinking about is, if they hit a 6 and 8 and a 6, and so you're from your 18, you're at 30, and then you just took 35. Pressing up, taking a $10 5 or 9, then, then everything's paid for and you got that quarter. So, I like that move of spreading out with house money. So,
well, the problem is if the 5 or 9 starts hitting before that 6 or 8 hits.
Well, sure. I mean, there's ideal times for it to happen. So 6 and 8 was the other play, and then if things were going well, then you were doing the pass line bet with the 6 and 8, and then if it was going well, then you'd have a 5 or 9 out there too, and then if they were throwing a couple of points, then you'd be missing a 6 or an 8 every once in a while, and you'd have to put it back up there, or 5 and 9 you'd miss. So there was a lot of action going on. But I don't know that there were any more other I was playing the field a little bit because one guy just could not. It was the dump guy at well,
Golden Nugget.
I say I was playing the don't a lot. I ended up losing that session, so maybe that's why.
No, you were up on well, you were initially up on the field, and then once you tried to play it again on him, then he started hitting sixes and eights.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. I was playing sixes and eights, and he's throwing into the field, and then I start playing it in the field, and then he starts throwing
But the
sixes and
one
eights.
time the first time that you recognized that he was throwing a lot of field numbers, he was throwing aces and threes
Yeah,
and
I was able
12s
to
and
get some
11s
doubles.
and 9s. During that particular, you were definitely up on the field. You were definitely up. But then by the next turn that he went, you tried to do it again, thinking that he was going to roll field, and this time he just rolled all inside numbers.
Yeah. No, just kind of a nice and easy trip. 3 sessions. That's all we really needed to play. I think, if we would have played last night, probably wouldn't have been successful. It would have been at the Golden Nugget, and I wouldn't have liked it.
Well, and we also did manage to get upgraded at Golden Nugget on our room.
Yeah, we got a balcony, so that was good. No, they're treating us right. Golden Nugget's treating us right. Thank you. Somebody's listening. So keep giving us those Friday nights. We'll be out there. So, well, now that everybody can hear you yawn, I guess you probably are done talking, huh?
Well, I was just thinking, what else did we have to say? But, we really didn't play craps on Friday night, and then today's session was just really the morning and the afternoon. And I think we really did discuss we kind of went over everything already, so I didn't really know that I had too much more to say, actually. And I yawned because I'm tired, because that's a lot of work.
Well, then again, on that note, we will let y'all go. So, so back from a Friday, Saturday of gambling, and we'll be back out here in a couple of weeks. We'll see if we can get this episode going in your ears soon enough. So, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Coming up on our next episode, we continue with our next casino road trip. Post-trip reports from the casinos of Lake Charles, Louisiana, the Isle of Capri, L'Auberge du Lac, and the Golden Nugget. The Red Eye Gamblers, thank you for your time, and hope you got a little something out of this week's podcast.
Here's to rolling 7s on the come out, and may your 6s and 8s always be hard. Cheers.